Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we unpack complex topics to give you the essential insights. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the fascinating world of strategic thinking. We've pulled together a stack of sources that lay out a really actionable roadmap for outsmarting challenges and achieving success, not just in business, but really in every corner of your life. Our mission today is to extract the most impactful nuggets, giving you a serious shortcut to mastering this powerful skill.
Yeah, and what's really illuminating in these sources is how consistently they challenge that common belief, that strategic thinking is reserved for the elite.
Right, the generals, the CEOs.
Exactly. But our deep dive clearly shows it's a fundamental human skill. It's something anyone can develop, really transforming how you approach your career, your relationships, even personal goals. Think of it as your own personal GPS for navigating life's complexities.
That chess master analogy really hits home. They don't just react, do they?
Not at all.
They're seeing the whole board, planning maybe 5-10 steps ahead, anticipating obstacles. It's like they're playing out multiple futures in their mind. So, okay, if we apply that kind of mindset to daily life, what's the first, tangible step someone listening can take to start seeing beyond just the next immediate move?
Well, it leads us to consider, doesn't it? In a world that's constantly pushing us to react impulsively, how do we actually cultivate the pause, the intentionality needed to truly think strategically?
Okay, let's unpack that first crucial concept then.
Yeah.
The power of a pause. Our sources highlight that, most people kind of rush through their days.
Oh, absolutely.
Making impulsive decisions, firing off angry emails, reacting without a second thought.
And the real strategic edge, as one source really puts it powerfully, comes from just a brief, sometimes tiny moment of pause.
A brief.
Often just 3 seconds, before you respond or act. And this isn't just about discipline,
Right.
It's about giving your brain this critical window to shift from that emotional reactive state to a more rational, deliberate one. That tiny delay gives you the space to choose your best move. It can turn potential chaos into, surprising clarity.
It's like hitting a mental pause button, maybe, during a heated argument or before you hit send on that really emotional email.
Exactly. That short delay can literally prevent mistakes, prevent regrets that come from those knee-jerk reactions.
Makes sense.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this simple habit, practiced over time, profoundly cultivates emotional intelligence and discipline. It makes your responses much more deliberate, more strategic in the long run. It's really about slowing down just enough to make more intentional choices.
What genuinely surprised me digging through these sources was how consistently they challenged that common belief that strategic thinking is only for the elite. Could you maybe unpack what they mean by that?
Absolutely. The reality is, it's a mindset. It's for anyone willing to develop the habit.
Yeah.
Whether you're facing a tough conversation, or thinking about a career change, or even just managing daily tasks, strategic thinking puts you firmly in the driver's seat.
Okay.
It's a fundamental shift, really, from being a passenger in your own life to actively steering it.
So it helps you see options more clearly then. Stay calm under pressure, act with real intention.
Precisely.
It's about becoming the architect of your life, I suppose, rather than feeling like a victim of circumstances.
Right.
And that in itself, that's got to be a huge confidence builder.
It is. And it's fascinating how this skill empowers you not just to plan ahead, but also to align your daily actions with your deepest long-term goals, even when everything around you feels, chaotic.
Okay, so once we've kind of embraced that mindset, what does this mean for practical application? How do you actually start building this strategic mind? It sounds like it starts with reflection and maybe that powerful pause we just talked about, but maybe apply it a bit differently.
Exactly. When those powerful emotions come up, anger, fear, our sources advise taking that initial 3-second pause. But not just to avoid reacting,
Okay.
but to actively ask yourself, what's the smartest move now? This brief reflection helps you manage the feelings, sure, but it also encourages thoughtful responses. It really builds that mental discipline.
And our sources also emphasize thinking long-term by visualizing your future self. That sounds interesting.
It's a powerful trick. Ask yourself, will I thank myself later for this decision? That simple question helps you delay gratification, live with deeper intention, focusing on what truly matters months, maybe even years from now.
Okay, I like that.
And this leads us to a really crucial point. How do we view challenges?
Right, setbacks happen.
They do. The sources advise treating every obstacle not as just bad luck, but as a system to analyze.
A system, how so?
Well, for instance, if you face a career setback, a strategic thinker doesn't just despair. They ask, okay, what's the system producing this outcome? Is it my current skill set? Is it my network? Is it the industry structure itself? You see?
Yeah, looking deeper.
It's recognizing that fixing one gear often means understanding the whole machine. It turns setbacks into, honestly, profound lessons for growth.
Okay, so you reframe challenges into opportunities. What's the next step then in carving out that strategic path? Our sources seem to insist it's about setting targets.
Definitely.
Because if you don't define your destination, well, vague goals just create confusion, right? So what's the strategic approach to really nailing down those objectives?
The sources are incredibly clear on this. Be precise.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond just be precise. They reveal a fascinating detail. Vague goals actually activate fewer reward pathways in the brain.
Oh, interesting.
So it makes sustained motivation harder. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, you need to specify what success means to you.
Like what? Give me an example.
Is it launching 2 specific products by the end of the year? Building a lifestyle business that gives you, say, 20 hours a week for family? Precision isn't just about clarity. It's about wiring your brain for commitment.
Okay, so pinpoint your destination. Then what? The sources talk about reverse engineering it.
Exactly. It's not just breaking it down. It's mentally starting from the finished product and working backward.
Working backward.
Yeah, identifying every single prerequisite.
Yeah.
So let's say you want to overhaul your company's customer service system.
Okay.
You'd start from the desired end state, that seamless customer experience, and work backward to maybe new software integration, then staff training, then initial vendor research.
Ah, I see. It reveals steps you might miss otherwise.
Exactly. Potential bottlenecks too before you even start.
Makes sense.
And then there's the crucial daily practice. Ask yourself, what is the most impactful thing I can do today that gets me closer to that big, precise goal?
Right, focus on the high leverage stuff.
Yeah, and importantly, learn to say no to everything else. Summarizing your whole plan in one crisp sentence. That adds laser focus, helps you cut through all the noise.
Okay, shifting gears. Let's talk information gathering. Say you hear a great idea, or someone gives you some advice. Our natural tendency might be to just jump on it, right?
Oh yeah, very tempting.
But what do our sources say about that impulse?
They absolutely highlight the importance of learn before you leap.
Learn before you leap, okay.
Gathering relevant, recent, and trustworthy information first isn't just good practice. It dramatically cuts your chances of making really costly mistakes. It basically transforms mere guesses into solid, data-backed decisions.
And I suppose this applies across the board. Launching a business, changing careers, even personal relationships.
Absolutely. The principle holds true. Then you turn that knowledge into action.
Wow.
The sources suggest collecting data, analyzing patterns, and crucially, testing ideas small before you commit big.
Test small, like quick experiments.
Exactly. Quick experiments often teach you more actionable insights than hours of just theoretical planning.
Right, real-world feedback.
And continuous learning is key. Through books, diverse conversations, even dissecting your own mistakes. That relentlessly sharpens your strategic edge. It helps you recognize patterns faster, develop an almost intuitive sense for what really works.
Okay, so here's where we zoom out a bit, think big picture. Strategic thinking involves truly seeing the entire system at play. What does thinking in systems actually mean beyond just being a buzzword?
Well, it's about seeing the interconnected web of elements, yeah, rather than just looking at isolated symptoms.
Give me an example.
Okay, so if team productivity dips, a strategic thinker doesn't just push harder or, blame individuals.
Right.
They ask, what's the system producing this outcome? Is it the communication channels? Are the tools outdated? Maybe there's an unaddressed morale issue that's rippling through.
So it's understanding the root causes.
Exactly. It's recognizing that fixing one gear often requires understanding the whole machine.
And another critical skill seems to be recognizing patterns, not just out there, but our own behaviors too.
Oh, absolutely. Your own behaviors under pressure and how others typically react. If you know you tend to rush decisions when deadlines loom, you can strategically plan to build in extra pause time. If a product consistently flops without enough customer feedback, you change the development process, not just the product itself.
Got it.
And this leads us to a really fascinating element of the big picture, power dynamics.
Power dynamics. Okay.
Knowing who truly makes decisions, who influences outcomes, understanding the key relationships, the underlying interests, maybe even hidden alliances. That profoundly boosts your influence. It keeps you one step ahead in situations like negotiations or even job interviews.
And then anticipation, like our chess master again, thinking several moves ahead.
Yes.
When starting any project, big or small, the strategic question is, okay, what happens next if I take this step? And what if something goes wrong?
Right. Planning for multiple futures protects you from unnecessary surprises.
So like scenario planning.
Scenario planning is key here. Our sources advise preparing for the best case, the worst case, and even those unexpected wildcards.
Wildcards, okay.
Mentally rehearsing how you'd respond makes you incredibly more flexible and ready when the unexpected inevitably hits.
Right, you've already thought it through.
Exactly. And understanding the core motivations of others, that helps you predict their reactions, enabling you to steer conversations ethically and effectively towards, hopefully, mutual benefit.
Timing. That feels like another absolutely critical strategic weapon. Our sources don't just emphasize patience, but strategic patience. What's the difference?
Yeah, exactly. Moving too early wastes precious energy, maybe tips your hand, but waiting too long, that can mean losing golden opportunities entirely.
It's a balancing act.
It is. It's like drawing a bowstring pull too soon or too late, and the shot misses its mark. Good timing is that precise pairing of patience with acute awareness of the environment.
So how do you spot those moments, those high-leverage moments where a small move could yield big results?
Well, you look for signals, things like escalating market tension, maybe a sudden shift in customer demand, or perhaps a competitor's misstep.
Ah, okay.
These are often transient windows, right? Where a carefully timed action like launching a new feature right before demand surges can produce disproportionately big results.
But then it's also about avoiding the traps, acting purely on impulse, or the opposite, overthinking yourself into paralysis.
Yes, exactly. Pause before acting on those strong instincts, especially for big decisions.
Yeah,
The sources even suggest like a 24-hour delay rule for major choices.
24 hours, okay.
And then there's the 70% confidence rule. If you've gathered enough info to be about 70% sure, well, that's often the strategic moment to move forward. Don't wait for 100%. You might never get there.
Right.
It's about balancing speed and patience to catch the right moment, not just any moment.
Okay, this next one sounds almost counterintuitive, but the secret to success, according to our sources, is often doing less and achieving more. What does that actually mean for someone listening?
Yeah, it sounds weird, doesn't it? But it's fundamentally about leverage.
Leverage.
Using small inputs like automation or a key relationship, maybe even a single piece of content to create massive results.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think of maybe a single really well-crafted social media post bringing in thousands of customers. Or designing an automated system that saves you hours every single day without your direct intervention. That's leverage.
So this is where the 80-20 rule really comes into play, isn't it?
Absolutely. It means strategically focusing on that 20% of actions that generate 80% of your value.
The vital few.
The vital few. This involves automating repetitive tasks, delegating effectively where you can, or building valuable assets. Things like evergreen content or a strong network that multiplies your efforts over time.
And resources aren't just money.
Not at all. Your resources include your time, your unique skills, your connections. The sources advocate things like repurposing content you've already created, bartering skills, or proactively utilizing assets you might have that are currently underused. The key takeaway here is really doing fewer things, but doing them far better with maximum impact.
Okay. But in life, plans often break down. We know that happens. So how do you pivot without panicking when the unexpected inevitably hits?
Well, our sources advise not just reacting, but actually expecting surprises, building in the capacity to adjust on the fly.
Expecting surprises.
Okay. It's about taking that strategic pause again, analyzing the new situation, and then recalibrating your plan. Think of it like a sophisticated GPS system, you know. It reroutes you instantly when the road ahead is unexpectedly blocked.
Right, it doesn't just give up.
Exactly.
So how do you make those fast, smart decisions, especially when you're under pressure or feeling rushed?
Yeah, that's tough. This is where decision tools like the ODO loop, Observe, Orient, Decide, Act, become incredibly powerful.
ODO.
It's a rapid cycle approach. So imagine a business leader who observes a sudden market shift, quickly orients their understanding based on the implications, decides on a new course of action, and then acts swiftly. It's about outcycling your environment, moving faster than the changes around you.
Wow.
You trust your trained instincts? Sure, but you have to stay inherently flexible, constantly adjusting your plan as you learn more. Your ultimate goals should probably remain steady, But your approach must adapt fluidly if a strategy isn't working anymore. Always let that real-time feedback guide your adjustments.
Let's talk about maybe one of the most critical yet often overlooked strategic skills, understanding human motivations.
Oh, this is huge. Our sources highlight that people act for fundamental reasons, things like seeking respect or control or belonging or competence.
Right, basic human needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Recognizing these deeply ingrained needs in others allows you to influence them ethically and often very powerfully.
Yeah, so.
Well, a well-timed compliment that genuinely addresses someone's need for recognition or showing a deep understanding of their core challenge that can shift an entire interaction in your favor.
But how do you master that art of influence without slipping into manipulation? That's a fine line.
It is, and the sources are really clear.
Hmm.
Transparency and active listening are your bedrock, your foundation.
Okay.
Offer value first. Genuinely try to help others solve their problems before you ever ask them a favor in return. Always respect boundaries and consistently seek mutual benefit situations where both parties gain.
Win-win.
Exactly.
No way.
This consistent approach builds trust. And trust, our sources call it your absolute best strategic weapon.
Trust. Yeah.
Beyond that, strategically using things like storytelling, framing your ideas effectively, even anchoring, which is basically setting an initial benchmark for a discussion, helps shape how people perceive your ideas. It makes your messages stick and resonate far more deeply.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground on strategy, but all these amazing strategies mean nothing, of course, without action. How do we actually turn these brilliant plans into tangible results?
Right, execution is everything. The key,
Yeah.
break big goals into incredibly small, manageable steps.
How small?
Really small sometimes. Instead of a huge goal like grow my business, aim for something like contact 5 potential clients today, or write 1 paragraph of my book.
Ah, okay. Little wins.
Exactly. Small wins create unstoppable momentum and they build consistent confidence.
And it's also about building robust habits and systems, isn't it? Not just relying on willpower.
Precisely. Create routines that automate success. Things like a weekly planning session, maybe daily reflection, or a morning routine that sets you up for focused work. Design systems to streamline your efforts and drastically reduce decision fatigue. That keeps you on track even during the really tough times.
And finally, it seems like there's this constant cycle of measuring, learning, and adjusting.
Absolutely essential. Track your progress with clear metrics. Don't be afraid to look at the data. Review what worked brilliantly and what didn't.
Celebrate the wins, too.
Definitely celebrate every win, big or small. And most importantly, learn deeply from every single setback. This continuous feedback loop measure, learn, adjust, is what consistently strengthens your strategy and really propels you forward.
So, wrapping this all up, what does this really mean for you listening right now, mastering strategic thinking? It isn't about being perfect, is it?
Not at all. It's about being incredibly intentional
Yeah.
and consistently adaptable.
Okay.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's truly about a fundamental shift in your mindset. It's about thinking before reacting.
That pause again.
Exactly. Setting laser-focused goals, gathering insightful information, seeing the big picture, anticipating obstacles, timing your moves perfectly, leveraging your resources, staying incredibly adaptable, influencing others ethically, and executing with unwavering discipline.
Wow. When you put it all together like that, when you truly make strategy your way of life, challenges really can transform into exciting opportunities, and success becomes, well, as our sources put it, remarkably inevitable.
It does. Which raises, I think, an important question for you to consider today. How will you implement just one of these strategic thinking principles in your life starting today to begin turning your plans into powerful actions and moving forward with real purpose?